Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Hope all is well. Hope everybody's doing all right. All right, looks like everybody is in. Let's see. Anybody have any general questions or concerns before we get rolling today? Oh, it's 1:30. Okay, so that is 4.5. Hold on a second. All right, all right. So we grabbed. Excuse me. All right, so where did we leave off in this class? I know we did graphing, if I'm not mistaken. Intercepts, slopes. Let's see. Hold on 1 second, because I forgot that we didn't meet last class. My schedule thrown off a little bit. Let me see. Okay. All right, so we did, where it go? We did this. This. So I believe we're right here at the substitution method. So you guys can let me know if I'm wrong, but we did graphing. Oh, were we supposed to start here? And I think we're supposed to do it. I think we did this example. So you guys let me know if we, I know we solved by graphing. I think we're finished with it. If not, somebody let me know. If not, I'll just go with substitution. So everybody give me a rush read. All right. So substitution method is the last method in 4.5, solving systems of linear equations. So that chapter 7 and chapter 9. Yeah. Okay. So substitution method, here are our steps. Solve the equation for one of its variables, and we're going to go step by step when we actually pull a problem up. Substitute the result from step 1 into the equation not used. Solve for the remaining variable. Then we'll substitute the solution for step 3 into the equation from step 1 and solve. Final step is check. All right, and we scroll up and use these steps. All right, so let's look at the first one. We have 2x plus 5, 4y equal to -6, then x minus 2y equal to -5. And we want to solve the equation. You look at first step, solve. I left out one right here. Should be solve one of the equations for one of its variables. So it doesn't matter which equation you solve. Let's solve one of the equations for one of the variables. So that's the first step. So I chose equation 2 right here to be at 1 because all you had was x minus 2y equal to -5. Since I have just x right here, I can just add 2y to both sides and my equation would be solved for x. So once again, it doesn't matter which equation you use, it doesn't matter which variable you solve for, you just need to get one of your variables by itself on one side of the equation. So any problems with what we have for the first step? X is equal to 2y minus 5. Second step. Now notice I called the top one equation 1, so I wrote E1, bottom one equation 2. So notice we used equation 2. So we're going to use the other equation. We're going to use equation 1. So notice it says here for step 2, substitute the result from step 1 into the equation not used. So the equation we didn't use was 2x plus 4y equal to -6. And this statement right here says that x is equal to 2y minus 5. So where I see x, that's where I will plug in 2y minus 5. Once again, x is equal to 2y minus 5. So that means where I see x, I can put 2y minus 5. And that's what happens here. I put 2y minus 5 right there at x. So now that's 2 times 2y minus 5 plus 4y equal to -6. Everything else stays the same. It's just that I plug in 2y minus 5 where I see x. Any problems? Now we can solve for y. Distribute 2. I can add 4y and 4y, which will give me 8y. Then we can add 10 to both sides. Add 8. I add 8. I add 8y equal to 4, so divide by 8. And that will give me y equal to 1/2. Everybody okay with how we got Y? So Y is equal to 1/2. So now I can take that equation that I've already solved for X. And we have X equal to 2Y minus 5. Plug in 1/2 for Y now. All right. Hold on a second. All right, so that's 2 times 1/2, which is 1 minus 5. So 1 minus 5 is -4. And that is our X. So our ordered pair, -4, 1/2. Don't forget, you always write X first and then Y in your ordered pair. Questions on that? All right, can I go to the next one? Okay. All right, so same process. Here we have 7x minus 3y equal -14. -3x plus y equals 6. So first step is to solve one of your equations for one of your variables. To me, the easiest one to solve for in this case is y in our second equation. Remember, always label the top one equation 1, bottom one equation 2. So we're looking at equation 2, we have -3x plus y equal to 6. Add 3x to both sides. Y is equal to 3x plus 6. All right. So look, we have one of our variables solved. Now we take the other equation and plug that into the place where we see y. Y is equal to 3x plus 6. So it means where I see y, I'll plug in 3x plus 6. Everything else in the equation stays the same. So 7x minus 3 times 3x plus 6 equal to -14. All right, so go ahead and distribute that -3. So we can go ahead and solve. So that's negative, what is 7x minus 9x minus 18 equal to -14. Combine your like terms. That'll give you -2x minus 18 equal to -14. Keep solving. We're going to add 18 to both sides. Negative 2x equal to 4. Divide both sides by negative 2. And x is equal to negative 2. All right, problems to the negative 2. Any problem how we get negative 2? All right, plug in negative 2 for x into the equation where we had solve for y. So that's 3 times negative 2 plus 6. Negative 2 and negative 6 plus 6 is 0. So our ordered pair is negative 2, 0. Any questions? Any questions? So something in chat. Okay. Okay, not a problem. Not a problem. All right, let's scroll up. Everybody okay? Okay. Everybody, can I go to the next screen? Let's copy this. All right, hold on 1 second. I didn't do a problem like that. Let's see if I have one somewhere. Nope. Okay. See if I can find a problem that fit that. So the other two things that come along, the other two scenarios that could occur. Remember, we talked about 3 scenarios last class. One scenario is that you can get one solution, like we got in the last 2 problems. The other 2 is we have no solution. So if the variables cancel and you end up with a false statement, the answer is no solution. If the variables cancel and you end up with a true statement, the answer is infinitely many solutions. Because remember, there were 3 different scenarios that could occur when it comes to your solving. It was no solution. I mean, it was one solution, no solution, and infinitely many solutions. So we saw what that would look like last class, the graphing. And this is how it looks with the substitution method. That's what would occur. Trying to see if I can actually find a problem that shows that to us. This 4. Okay. One second, guys. Trying to give you an example. This first class we have it. All right, so. All right, so let's look at this first one. Looking at the scenarios that we just finished talking about. 5x minus 2y equal to 4, and then negative 10x plus 4y equal to 7. So we're going to solve this by substitution. First thing we want to do is solve one of our equations for one of our variables. Notice we have 5, 10, we have 2 and 4. So it doesn't matter what way we solve, it's still going to take the same amount of work. Remember last time we had one of our variables alone, you know, like we had y right here, and then the other one we had x. So we can see a definite, easier way to get one of our variables by itself. This time we don't, so it really doesn't matter what we decide to do. I'll just take the bottom equation. We'll use equation 2. And solve it for y. Once again, it does not matter which equation you use, which variable you solve for. I decided to take the bottom equation and solve it for y. So I'm adding 10x to both sides so that 10x can cancel. That leaves me with 4y equal to 10x plus 7. And divide both sides by 4. Step 1. Solve the equation for y. All right. So let's go ahead and plug this in. Next step is to plug this in into the other equation. So we're looking at equation 1, starting with equation 1. 5x minus 2y equal to 4. So we're going to take that, plug it in. Oh, where I see why. That's the end of step 2.
Can you go back up just a little bit to substitution part, Mr. Tucker?
I know you said go
Can
back
you
up.
hear me?
Yeah, I know you said go back up. Don't know exactly where you said that you're breaking up. If you want to type it out. So hopefully you can see the chat. I can't really understand. Okay, so step one is that we just took one of these equations. It didn't matter which one, and you solve it for one of the variables. It doesn't matter which one. I decided to use the bottom equation to solve it for y. That was just my choice. It did not matter which one. So that's what I did. Step one, I took this bottom equation and solved it for y. And so we added 10x to both sides and then divided by 4. And that gives us this expression right here for y. Cool, cool. Let me see. All right, here in feedback. So if anybody is not muted, please mute. Make sure. Yep. All right. Thank you. Thank you. So we are here. Any other questions before we move to the next step? Okay, so now we want to solve. So this -2 needs to go to each piece. And I'm going to take this 4 and go ahead and separate it. Simplify. So notice 5x minus 5x cancels. All right, so notice what happened. Our variables ended up canceling out on us completely, and we ended up with a false statement. We have -7/2 equal to 4. So remember, false is not an answer. That's just what happened. Our actual answer here is no solution. Whenever your variables cancel out completely and you end up with a false statement, your answer is no solution. All right. Questions. Got one more, and then we'll be done with this. I scroll up. All right, next one, y equal to 3x minus 2 or 15x minus 5, y equal to 10. So now we're looking at, once again, solving one of our equations for one of our variables. But if we check out the first equation, the first equation is already done for us as far as solving it. One of our variables is already set by itself. So we didn't have to do any work. So remember that first step is always to get one of your variables by itself. It doesn't matter whether it's X or Y. It doesn't matter whether you use the first equation or the second equation. Your goal is to get one of your variables by itself. After you've done that, you use the other equation. Remember, it's only two equations. So you use the other equations and plug that in where you see that variable. Now we can solve. So we distribute -5. (15x minus 15x cancels. 10 equal to 10. This time we have a true statement. And it says infinitely many solutions. All right, questions? Any questions? All right. So everybody good, everybody straight? Any problem with what we've done up to this point? All right. So that is, somebody say something in the chat. Which test are you referring to? You said the next test due. You want to be specific on who's saying 1217. Yeah, all of those change according to, you know, when we get finished. So we just finished chapter 4's content. Well, chapter 4's content. So we were looking to put a date on that. So yep. Let's see. Okay, shoot me that email if you forgot to do something or you got anything, you know, any problem with due dates or extensions. Make sure you shoot me that email, and we can talk about that on you know, through email. So we're done with chapter 4. Trying to get to my calendar. Okay, there we go. So this week is the 10th. So I guess I can give you so that's 2 weeks. 24. 12/7 works. But see, you know, somebody, you know, 12/7 is too far away, evidently. You know what I mean? Somebody, we need that due date. Let's see. Well, right now I'll leave it like that. Let's see. Let me think about it. What I'm gonna do with chapter 4. But what I will say is this: is that I will let chapter 4's tests be unproctored like last one. We at least got to get an unproctored test in there. Chapter 7 is dealing with measurements and perimeter and formulas. So what we probably do is let chapter 7 be a proctored test. And you just have, just bring your notes, bring your formulas and stuff. And then that should be a light chapter, light content for you to do a proctored test. So we'll talk about it more as we progress through chapter 7. When you talk about proctor, that means you will come into the Zoom, and because really tests is supposed to be watched. Like somebody's supposed to be watching you taking tests. As far as I know, you got your sister over, from around the way, you just doing it. You know what I mean? But so your test is supposed to be proctored. So some of them I do unproctored, and then I said that like for the final exam, most definitely it will be proctored. So what will happen is you come in. Yep, you come in. Make sure your cameras are enabled. During the regular lecture, I don't force you guys to enable your camera so I can see you. That's not mandatory, but on proctored tests, it will be mandatory. And so you will come, bring your ID, show it to the camera, and I will give you the password to get into the test. And you will take that test during class period. And then once you're done with the test, then you would log off, and then that would be that. So since chapter 7 is lighter material, I think chapter 7 would be a good opportunity for us to do that. But I will send you guys more details on that when we get closer to doing that. So, questions on anything as far as chapter 4 is concerned? Everybody good? Everybody straight? So, if you guys are good, I'm good. That closes out chapter 4. Next class, I will open the floor for questions, see if you have them. If you have them, we'll address them, whether it be in chapter 4, chapter 10, whatever questions you have, feel free to bring them next class and we'll address them. Outside of that, if nobody have any questions, then we'll just get into chapter 7. All right, so you guys have a good one. Be safe, and I will see you next class. All right, take it.